June 5th, 2025, a warm California afternoon in the South Bay Area. In the crowd of graduates dressed in green robes, one young woman's smile shone brighter than the rest. Her name was Marissa DiNapoli. At just 18 years old, she had done what so many had doubted she could. She had graduated from Opportunity Youth Academy, and with that diploma in her hand, her dreams felt closer than ever. Marissa was born on May 14, 2007, the youngest of 8 siblings. But her early life wasn't the picture-perfect story you might expect. She and her brothers and sisters had spent time in foster care after their biological family faced struggles they couldn't overcome. Eventually, the DiNapoli family became her adoptive parents, offering her stability, love, and a second chance at a happy childhood. She grew up in Morgan Hill, a peaceful suburban city in California's Santa Clara County, surrounded by rolling hills and quiet neighborhoods. For Marissa, this community wasn't just home. It was the backdrop of every friendship, every milestone, and tragically, her final days. Welcome to Dark Matters TV, where we don't just tell the story of a crime, we remember the life behind it. Tonight, we return not to a cold case from decades past, but to a summer that was supposed to be the beginning of everything for one young woman. A daughter, a sister, a friend, with her future wide open, taken from this world in an act of senseless cruelty. We'll move slowly, with care, peeling back the layers of who she was, the joy she brought to those around her, and the heartbreak that still ripples through her community. Because behind every headline is a name. Behind every crime scene is a family. And behind every tragedy is a life that mattered. If you've come here searching for more than just the facts, if you believe that saying their name keeps their memory alive, that remembering them gives meaning to their loss, then you are exactly where you need to be. So with that being said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a case, leave a comment below, and give us a like. Her loved ones describe her as ambitious, caring, resilient. She had a genuine sweetness to her that made her stand out in any crowd. One of her teachers told reporters, "Every student in my class touches my heart, but her especially. She had the brightest smile that would light up every room. She was friends and friendly with everyone that came into our classroom. She's just one of those kids that leaves a mark on your heart. I have a broken heart right now. I consider her one of my own children." That kind of praise, comparing a student to your own child, isn't something teachers give lightly, and Marissa earned it every day. She was the type to go out of her way for others. She once spent her free time bringing food to the homeless, without asking for recognition or thanks. Her classmates echoed the sentiment. She never had any hate in her. She was very genuine, always had a smile on her face. She had just been accepted to Gavilan College, where she planned to start that fall. In the meantime, she was working as a barista at the local Starbucks, saving money, and enjoying her first real summer as a high school graduate. Her life was just beginning. It was Saturday, June 28th, 2025. Summer break had just begun, and for Marissa, it was a season of freedom. That night, at 9:16 p.m., she sent a text to her parents. "Staying at a friend's tonight. I'll be home by 8. It was the kind of message any 18-year-old might send. Nothing about it sounded unusual. But that was the last time her family heard from her. The next morning came and went. 8 o'clock passed. Then noon. And still, no sign of Marissa. She didn't come home. She didn't answer calls. And she missed her shift at Starbucks, something her co-workers and family both knew was completely out of character. By Monday, June 30th, her parents' worry had turned to fear. They went to the Morgan Hill Police Department and reported her missing. If you've ever followed a missing persons case, you know this moment all too well. The moment when the family crosses that invisible line from waiting at home to walking into a police station. It's a moment heavy with unspoken guilt. Guilt for not calling sooner. Guilt for thinking maybe they were overreacting. Guilt for every time they told themselves, "She's fine, she'll be back." In so many cases, and perhaps you've heard this before, families have to fight against that initial assumption that the missing person will just turn up. For adults, it's the idea they might have gone off on their own. For teens, it's the word runaway, whispered too quickly. But here, her parents knew in their bones that something wasn't right. This wasn't just teenage rebellion or an unannounced trip. This was different. By the time they left the station, the missing persons report had been filed, but anyone who has been through it will tell you, filing the report is not the same as finding answers. It's the first step in what can become a long, exhausting fight against time, bureaucracy, and sometimes even indifference. The thing about these cases is, deep down, the family always knows. They can feel it in their gut when something is wrong. They can feel when the disappearance isn't voluntary. And once you've crossed that line, once you've admitted to yourself that something might be terribly wrong, there's no going back. As we walk you through the disappearance and murder of Marissa, I want you to stay with me until the very end, because this case isn't just about tragedy. It's about unanswered questions, strange turns, and the kind of darkness that hides in plain sight. And if you care about uncovering the truth as much as I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you'll never miss when we dive deep into cases just like this. Detectives quickly learned that Marissa had been seen the morning of June 29th, not with a female friend like her text implied, but with her on-again, off-again boyfriend, 20-year-old Martin Mendoza. Surveillance footage from a home on Trail Drive showed Marissa and Mendoza leaving together around 9:45 a.m. Her car was parked nearby. The two had a rocky history. Friends described the relationship as unstable, with frequent arguments and breakups. Police soon labeled Mendoza as a person of interest in her disappearance. The community rallied fast. Friends, neighbors, and complete strangers joined the search, handing out flyers with Marissa's smiling face. One of the main search areas was near Anderson Lake County Park, a sprawling nature area on the edge of town. It was here, under a bridge, that the search ended in heartbreak. On July 2nd, 2025, search teams found a body. The next day, police confirmed what everyone had feared. It was Marissa DiNapoli. Her family released a short statement thanking the community for their help, but asked for privacy. They discouraged any GoFundMe pages or public fundraising, choosing instead to grieve quietly. The investigation shifted from a search to a homicide case. Ring camera footage from Mendoza's home painted a chilling picture. On June 29th, the camera caught Marissa and Mendoza leaving together. The next day, Mendoza was seen coming down the stairs carrying a large teal plastic bag. Detectives now believed the couple had gone to the lake, where an argument turned deadly. According to court documents, Mendoza stabbed Marissa 5 times in the back. By the time the arrest warrant was issued, Mendoza was gone. Police, the U.S. Marshals Service, and other agencies coordinated a manhunt. On Sunday, July 6th, just over a week after Marissa's disappearance, U.S. Marshals found him trying to cross into the United States from Mexico at Calexico. He was arrested and booked into El Centro jail. Mendoza was charged with first-degree murder with a knife. He was denied bail. In the weeks that followed, the court documents revealed grim details. There was video and phone data linking him to the scene. The stabbing was brutal. The attack was deliberate. His plea hearing was set for September. Morgan Hill mourned together. At a vigil, dozens of people lit candles and shared stories. Teachers, classmates, and community members spoke about the light Marissa brought into their lives. Her story has since become a call to action, a reminder of the importance of recognizing the signs of abusive relationships, even when the victim seems strong, happy, and independent. Marissa DiNapoli had her whole life ahead of her. College, a career, friendships that would last decades, and perhaps someday, a family of her own. All of it stolen in a moment of rage. She was the kind of person who would bring food to someone living on the street, the kind of classmate who made everyone feel seen. And while her story has ended far too soon, her impact will live on, in her teachers' words, in her classmates' smiles, and in the hearts of everyone who knew her. Thank you for staying with us. Leave a warm comment below, and share Marissa's story for the world to remember her. This story is about Marissa and the love she gave in her short life. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and give us a like. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.